Hello guys, welcome back. This is, I believe it's episode 16, Redstoning with Steve. And yeah guys, today I actually got a great idea of what to do, and we covered, oh there they are, looking for them. We covered double piston extenders a while ago, as you can see this setup, and go back and check out the video if you haven't seen it. And yeah, we covered them quite a while ago, and I remember people asking me to do triple piston extenders on that video. And yeah, I'm going to go on better. I'm going to do more than triple piston extenders, and you'll find out in a sec, guys. And before we get into it, I'd like to remind you that remember to post your suggestions in the comments below, please. But yeah, with that in mind, let's jump into it. Alright guys, so first off, let's start basic. What's this? If you follow me at all, well, follow this series at all, you should pretty much know this is a very basic double extender. We've got this extending here, then when this piston gets out to here, it gets extended, and this one is to help the retracting. Yep. You know, pretty basic, not gonna lie. Make this any day, and you're making this in your sleep. But when we extend this out to a triple piston extender, it's a little more difficult because I think it's this block we have to power, because this piston will occupy this block, so we need to power this. But when it gets retracted, we need to retract it, and then we actually need to power it again because this piston will occupy that block at another stage. So it gets a little more complicated. We can't just do something like this. It's not going to work. We actually need to feed it back a couple more times or something like that. We can work that out. More specifically, we need to kind of start using an algorithm of sorts, I guess you could call it. And this is pretty much it. And we're going to take that out for now. And we've got a funky setup of repeaters here. Not really sure what they're used for, but you know, let's go with it. And this sort of alternating pattern, the colors alternating don't really mean anything. It's just to kind of distinguish, so you can easily see this is 4 steps in this, and you can see there's 2 steps in this, and these are cycles. And the way you want to read the cycles is this is cycle 1, this is cycle 2, and then you'd have cycle 3, 4, 5, 6, etc, etc. And cycle 2 has 2 steps. Well, cycle 1 has 2 steps, I'm sorry, and cycle 2 has 4 steps. And in fact, cycle 3 would have 6 steps. So you're increasing by 2 each time. So I'm going to claim that this is going to retract the triple extender setup we've got here. And this is just to extend it. Let's go. Alright, pretty basic. Won't retract it, just extend it. Okay. So we're going to hook this up here. Let's go. Alright. And this is a rising edge trigger. It'll just send out a short pulse basically. So I've got 3, 1, so it'll send 1 torch through and then 2 torches later. So it's going to send a 2 torch pulse basically. So let's try that. Oh, and you can see the first bit of it retracted. And the way we're going to work these cycles is you do them from left to right. So you start with the leftmost and you work your way to the right. And in this one it's only 2, so you just go 1, 2. In this one, however, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 1, 0 delay, because redstone wire is 0 delay. Then we're going to work it over to the 2 delay one. Then we're going to work it over to the, this is 5. Okay. And this one is 4, 7. And this will actually retract it. And there we go. So basically, in a double extender we've only got 1 cycle, but in this we need the 2 cycles. We run them one after the other, and it retracts the triple extender. So with that in mind, let's move on to the quadruple extender. So this is the quadruple extender, and I've chucked in the pistons already just to kind of speed this up. So we can see our first cycle here on these 2. We see our second cycle, and as I said before, the third cycle will have 6, and here we are. So you can see the kind of pattern we're going in with the cycles, and we're going to move the cycles. I'll go from the other side because we run this cycle down here, this cycle down there, and then this cycle down there. So let's do that. And of course we need to extend it first. And, almost run into the next setup there. Lucky it didn't. Alright, we're going to run our first one. Bit slower because it has to go through all that delay. Let's run the second cycle. And remember, this one will fire first, followed by this one, followed by this one, followed by this one. Yep. And let's run our third cycle. And of course, it'll go from left to right. Too easy. And you can see that we've had to expand out the number of repeaters we have. And there is a formula to this, which I will go over in a sec. I'll quickly do the... in fact, I'll leave the quintuple or quintuple extender. We're going to go over the theory of this. So we're going to go over what I just explained there. We're going to go over the theory of that, and then we're going to come back and we're actually going to construct this ourselves. So back at the triple piston extender here, and as promised, I'm going to go over the logic of this. And it kind of may seem kind of random what I'm doing here, and it actually is not. I'm following a very, very well set algorithm to actually generate exactly how this acts. So we're going to go back to our first one. We're going to totally ignore the second cycle. We're just going to work on this first cycle. Let's have a look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 delay here. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 is 7 delay. So we have 5 delay and 7 delay. Wait, let's have a close look at that. Let's go from this angle. It might be a bit easier. 5 delay and 7 delay. Starting to look familiar. 5 delay, 7 delay. So let's extend this piston forcefully. Alright. And because it's not extended, it'll extend weirdly. So we'll just put it like that. So now we've extended it to here, and this is what it would be like if it was extended. In fact, I'll do that. And my mouse spun again. And this is what it would look like if it was extended. Does it look familiar at all to this? And in fact, I'm going to retract this one first, followed by this one. And you can see they're pretty similar. So we usually have this line here, we're actually going to take that out. We're going to do here, there's 2 delay here, 4 delay here, so the difference from the back one to the front one is 2, and this is exactly replicated here, so the back one to the front one is 2, the front one is 2 more, and you can see the front one is 2 more here. So let's flick that, and you can see it retracts perfectly. So by following the same logic, because we've got that gap of 2, it'll be slower, but because of that gap of 2, it will retract perfectly as a double extender. And that's the theory behind all of these extenders. So we've got a double extender here. That's the algorithm. This is the algorithm to retract a double extender, to retract 2 pistons. Now how do we retract 3 pistons? I'm going to go 2 here and 1 here. You can see the gap of 2 again. So you want this 2 gap here, and you want it after this. So you want it to fire before this, should I say. You want this to fire before that one. So we're going to do that, and you can see that. This is the algorithm for a triple extender. And basically, the formula you want to follow is we've got this one cycle here, this set of 2. You want these to be 2 apart. When you go over to the next cycle, you want to leave a 3 gap between the set of 2. So you want to leave the 3, so this is 2 to 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. And then this set of pistons will also be set to 2. So they kind of work in 2. So you've got 2 here, and then it'll be 2, and then 2, and they've got delay of 2, and between those are 3. So basically you're alternating 2 delay, 3 delay, 2 delay, 3 delay, 2 delay, 3 delay. And that pretty much is how it works out. So we're going to go over to here. We're going to extend this. Boom. Just as we did before. And we're going to run the first algorithm, and it looks like I accidentally broke a block there, and we don't need that. So let's have a look at the delay here. We've got 4, 8, 10, 10, 12. The two difference is the double piston extender algorithm. There we go. And you can see the 2, 3 gap, then the 2, you can see this is 4, 7. That is a 3 gap there, and this is also a 2 gap from 7 to 5. So 2 difference, and then 3 difference. So let's do that. And it would help if I actually hooked them up. I apologize for that. And there we go, there's the algorithm for the 3. And all you have to do to replicate to the 4th piston is another gap of 3, so 4 plus 1 is 5, minus 3 is 2, 2, 0, which is a redstone wire, and you have your algorithm for the 4th piston. There we have it. So there we have it, guys. That was not too hard, was it? And it occurs to me that these actually should be in groups of 2. So I think it would be easier to actually see it like this, and then like this, and then like this, like that, because we have the group of 2 here, and then the group of 2. So I'll change all the rules to be like that. So now you can clearly see this is a group of 2, and this is a group of 2, and this is a group of 2. So from there, if you ever change colors, you do a delay of 3. If you stay the same color, you do a delay of 2. So moving up, you go same color, so it's 2 delay. Change of colors, it's 3 delay, essentially, and that's what you work with. And sorry for the little cut there, I just changed up the colors so we can see very easily. So we're going to start with this, and how do we work here? And you'll notice this is always a redstone wire, and that's just to provide the lowest possible delay. And you can see it's the same on all of them, so we can construct our 5 piston extender, and this should be very, very easy to us following on from that. So let's do this, and then 2. Our group of 2, 2 delay, yep. Jumping a color, so we need an additional 3 delay, so we go 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Same color, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need 7, because same color is 2. Different color, we need 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2 is 10. And then, of course, 12. And then our last one is another 3 delay jump. So we need 15, and this is where it gets quite, like, you have to use a lot of delay for this. So that's 4 plus 3 is 15, and then finally we need to do a big 18 delay. 3, 4, 16, and then the 18 delay. And that is a lot. I've actually covered up one of the colors there, which is a little disappointing. But this will work perfectly, and we know this, because it's exactly the same as these 2. So let's run it. Let's see if we've got it right first. First. Yep. Double piston algorithm. Oh, I didn't touch that, did I? I did. Let's do the triple piston algorithm. Yep, didn't muck up the repeaters too much. Let's do it. Quadruple piston algorithm. And let's finish off with the 5 piston algorithm. And is that connected? That is not connected. And there we have it. And finally, just to kind of end it here, I did make something that will actually automatically retract a triple extender for you. It is a total mess of wiring, but kind of explains the point, because I know you don't want to be putting in redstone every time you want to retract a triple piston extender. But basically what I've got here is, this is the extension, exactly the same along here. So hit that. And this here is actually a rising edge trigger, but because we've got this here, it works with a falling edge. And for some reason, the torch wasn't activating properly when I sent the normal delay through. So I just had to add a torch in here to kind of make it a bit longer. And this just kind of inverts the signal to these 2 torches, which will power this line. And then 4 torches later will power this line. And you can see powering this line does the 1, then the 3, which is the 2 gap, which will do the double piston retract, and then 4 torches later will run through here and has 4 here and 4 here, so it's the 5 and the 7, and of course it runs around here to 2 here and then one here. And this is totally messy wiring and not a very good way to do this at all, but I just wanted to kind of show you that it can be done. So something like that. But yeah, don't look too much into this, guys. I'm hoping to actually find a good way to do this kind of thing, but for now I had a lot of trouble with the pistons kind of repowering them and creating the infinite loop there, which was just a little bit annoying, to be honest, so I had to do it something like this. But yeah, I guess I hope you learned something from this one, guys. I'm not sure this has too many practical applications. I don't know where you would use a 5 piston extender, but I want to say that I hope you kind of learned something, and that redstone, even something that's seemingly complicated as this, you can always break it down into smaller and smaller chunks until it's something you can actually understand, such as like this double extender and then the triple and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the message I hope you take out of this one, guys. And of course, now you know how to do as many extenders as you want, so you can impress your friends with that, I guess. So apart from that, guys, leave your suggestion in the comments below, just below there, and also go check out the world download first line in the description as always, and I will have all this wall changed and all signs and everything. So hope you enjoyed this episode, guys, and I will see you later.